So good morning everybody, and welcome back to the Cotswold Way. Today's day number 3. We're nearly halfway today, we get to Stonehouse. So today we go over Cooper's Hill, which is famous for the cheese rolling hill. So we're going at the bottom, I think at the top of that, round to Haresfield Beacon and into Painswick, and then that should be halfway then of today, and then we go back out onto the woodlands and then back in and then down into Stonehouse where we finish for today. Today's about 16 or so miles and a lot less compared to the last couple of days. It's going to be a hot one though today. I am up at the crack of dawn. It's lovely and cool. I'm going to take every advantage of today. Yesterday was tough. I had a really, really nice day last night at the Royal George for 90 quid. That bed was actually comfy that I was hoping it was going to be. Compared to some of the ones I've stayed in, like the Royal Oak in Great Ayton, that was worth the money compared to that. Food last night was great. Obviously, being a Green King chain, you can't argue with the food. But overall, what, what a nice morning I've got. But at least we're on the top so this morning. So we start the very slow descent towards Painswick. We've got one major climb today. Once I've got that out of the way with, it's literally on the tops again for most of the day before we drop into Stonehouse. So let's get going then, shall we? Well, I have to say, through the little cut in here, this is absolutely gorgeous. I can just make out Wickham Reservoir. But where I did want to stay on this walk, it was the Premier Inn in Wickham, but it'd have been an extra 2 miles off the trail to go all the way down to then get to it, to then come all the way back up in the morning. And if I was to do that, I would have had to have come, obviously, walking down this lovely bit of woodland at Wickham, and I'd have had to have come up, walked this a bit further and then gone down, because the road itself I wouldn't have been able to walk down that. No, even get up in the morning would have been a struggle. But to be fair, I'm glad I stayed in Birdlip now to get that lovely view. Yeah, I'm happy. And to be fair, the first bit this morning's been really nice. I'm only just over a mile and a half in, and as you can see, all I'm following is stuff like this, and it's great. I've got a short little climbs to get to the top of Cooper's Hill. Once I get to the top of that, all downhill from there towards Painswick, and I'm looking forward to getting there because that does literally mark halfway of today. But Wickham Wood, I just say, is very, very nice. It does remind me a bit of Kiel the Forest I walked last year. Very enjoyable, but a lot more woodland here. But I've got views like that behind me, all the way over towards Gloucester and stuff like that. I've not got any complaints. But yeah, we're about, I'd say, halfway between Birdlip and Cooper's Hill, so let's keep going. So this thing behind me is Cooper's Hill, famously known for the Gloucestershire cheese roll. You'll not catch me walking up that today, and I'm glad I'm not, because looking at it from here, Christ, that is steep. And no wonder people do the roll. It is steep. Like, this does not put it into perspective. That is steep. But obviously, if you had the option at the top, I probably would have rolled down myself. But no, we continue straight on and then kind of round it. We don't go up to the top of that, unfortunately. But nice little thing to pass on the way. I was told about this, I think it was yesterday that I'd passed this. So I was like, oh, happy days, because obviously I'd not done a lot of research into this walk. I was kind of just planned it, did a little background, but nothing major. But it's nice to see this. But onwards we go, just not up there. I need to eat my own words when I said, I'm not going to climb this. What I've ended up doing, come round the side, and the Cotswold Way on the OS map says you avoid this. They've purposely done it, obviously to attract people, and they've turned it left. You've got to go up it, but the side of it, and it's just as steep as going up the actual thing. But in fairness, look at that for a view. So, and there is a lovely breeze, so it's kind of a win-win really. as much as I kind of wanted to just stay flat. But oh well, I'll take it. But yeah, welcome to the top of Cooper's Hill. So I've just made it off the top of the woods there. We're now on a very short stretch of road before we gradually climb back up then towards Painswick Beacon. Lovely woodland walk that. We've passed one of the Roman settlements, couldn't really see it through the trees on my left. That's marked the highest point walking wise today. The highest point realistically would be where I stayed last night, but highest point walking today, that would class as the highest point. So we do one more climb, but it's slightly just lower than what I've done today, so quite happy actually with that. So we now do a gradual climb for Painswick Beacon and make the gentle then descent down into Painswick. Absolutely gorgeous now on the road, and as you can see, past there, and we've done 3 miles apparently. OS Maps is telling me I've done more, so I'd like to know how that works. Telling me I've done at least 4 and a bit miles, so somewhere either that's lying or my OS Maps on my phone is. But no, it's nice to get onto the road for a bit now. It's still nice and cool, quite frankly, for nearly 8 o'clock in the morning. I thought it'd be a little bit warmer, but I think the breeze is helping keeping it cool as well. So we're heading now obviously we'll kind of follow the A46, at least for the next hour I'd say, to Painswick. Beacon's probably about half an hour away I'd say, at most. But loving it, absolutely loving it. Some of the views today I've had between the trees, great, and I think when I was reading this last night, a lot of today is in the trees. You're not going to see a lot of, compared to yesterday where you're going to have massive views over like Cheltenham and stuff like that. It's just going to be a case of if you get a spot in the tree where it opens up, then great. There is a beacon today later on after Painswick, I can't remember what it's called now, and that's got a trig point, so that'll be probably one of the only ones I'll probably get a decent view out of. But apart from that, it's been alright. But yeah, so I'm now on the A46. Like everyone's disappeared from me getting here. Road's empty now. So yeah, gonna get off, get up towards the beacon, and then we'll see you at the top, I guess. So we've just made a slow descent off Painswick Beacon. You don't actually go to the top of the beacon on the walk, but you follow the golf course past the cow, the singular cow, on the golf course, which was a bit weird to see. But now we're making a slow descent now down into Painswick. Routing today has been absolutely amazing. Coming down off the tops there, great. It's been so gradual this. The only bits I've really had anything to really complain about are probably Cooper's Hill, up that climb there and the settlement. That's been it so far. I think I've got 1 out of Painswick I've got to climb, and apart from that, that's the hard part of the day kind of done really. So behind me will be our routing now down. We'll basically still follow the A46, but no, it's been really nice this. Got talking to a few locals. Woman said there's apparently a cafe in one of the woods when I get back onto the top, so I want to see if I can do some research into that when I get to Painswick, and if it is anything close by to the Cotswold Way, I'll probably have a pit stop there. But yeah, not long to go. So I've made a little pit stop. I'm out there, literally sat on a bench in St Mary's Church. Apparently, so the hedges here, apparently there's only 99. Apparently there was a thing saying there was 100, but if you actually count them, apparently there's only 99 of them. I'll find a bit more information on it in a minute. But I've just nipped to the local Premier. Perfect. So, peri peri chicken wrap, godsend. Yeah, you can quote me later on this, and it's probably a bad idea. Salt and vinegar crisps. And I've gone with chocolate milkshake, because why not? But no, such a lovely little area, and getting down into Painswick was really, really interesting. Not fully dropped yet, so we keep going a little bit further after we leave here, and then we make a sharp ascent then towards, I think it's Edgemore, the inn there, and we continue up a bit further and onto the tops, and then we just follow the hills all the way around, and then should be downhill from there really. Weather's starting to get a bit warmer now, but take it as it comes. Only 55 miles to go, wow. 47 back the other way to Chipping Camden. And that's the hill I've got to climb. We're getting there slowly. It's just steep this little bit, and then once we're on the top, it should be fine. But heat's picking up now. There's no breeze where I am at the moment, and it's just warm. Should be on a little road in a minute and finish the last bit up to this pub, and then we'll go up a little bit more then onto the top. Then that's it. Should be on the tops then for a good while of the day, then back in the woods. But yeah, 55 miles. That'll do very nicely. Some of all this wind, I'm on Haresfield Beacon. What view? Back over towards Severn, South Wales, and I can see Stonehouse, and I finished for the day. But it's very, very windy up here. Very much needed, actually, to be fair, after what we've walked up today. I've got my essential companion with me for some of the day today. We caught with each other as we're coming off the last climb out of Painswick. So we've now just got to skirt round the trees and then we drop them to Stonehouse, but literally switching back now to go back at ourselves a bit to come back in. But we're not too far though, we're about 2 hours now and we're done. So nice easy day today, and an upgrade. So thanks to Jane and my Airbnb for tomorrow night in One Under Edge, I've now got an outhouse. So private bathroom, kitchen, the lot, bed, I've got my own space. So she's upgraded me for free on that, so I'm very much buzzing for that now tomorrow. So that gives me a bit more of a just chill out, throw my stuff in, and I've got my space. As much as I'd love to have been sharing a room, it's just as nice to be in my own little bed and have my own little space there with a fridge. So win-win-win. But yeah, 2 hours to go and I'll be down and sorted. Needed. I've just come across a place called Off-Road Bean. This is the cafe that this woman mentioned earlier, and by chance I've come across it. So the only cans she had left were San Pellegrino, we should say, and it was sparkling lemon. So nice and cold, bit of energy, and that'll do me now. I think before I get into Stonehouse, that is such a good find, and it's now just a lovely walk now in the woods all the way down now. So very much welcomed and enjoying myself today a lot more than yesterday. I think even with the extra weight back in my bag, I feel so much more refreshed and alive. Can't believe I'm doing this. It's nice and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad you get to see me do this as well. What an absolute beauty. Alright, so down there got the estuary all the way down and towards the Severn. Obviously South Wales is literally touching there, and then heading down Stonehouse should be just at the bottom of this, and then Stroud's there for where I'm staying tonight. Not far to go. Well, we're almost at the end and we've reached the vineyard. What a nice little spot to have when we're nearly at the end. But yeah, just shy of a mile now and then we're nearly done. It's been a very enjoyable day, a very, very enjoyable day, but nearly done now. Onwards. So I finally made it into Stroud. Had to wait an hour, unfortunately, at Stonehouse station. We just missed the 1:30 train. Thankfully we got the 2:30 because the one after's cancelled due to a fault with it. So we're now in Stroud and just walking down to my accommodation. But overall, a really, really enjoyable day. It's been tough. I'm looking forward to tomorrow and having a slightly shorter day into One Under Edge. So for now, I will see you in the next one.